So, recently I started playing more of my older games on my collection, and I stumbled upon this, and I have no idea where I have it from. Why are you here? Yeah, before I start talking about it, I just want to let you know that I'm not a big Hulk fan. He's cool, he's a big green man and all that, but more of a Spider-Man guy myself. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. The Hulk came out in 2003. It's a in-world sequel to the movie from 2003 from the same name, so it's one of those games. It's kind of like a beat 'em up, has some other stuff in there, but we're gonna talk about it at the time. The only thing that I want to mention about it before doing anything else is that it's really infuriating. Why were you so hard to beat? Twice. I had to beat it twice. Now, I actually went back and watched the original movie because it's been a very long time since I've done that. Comparing it to the game, they actually did a really good job adapting the whole comic book-esque vibe. Even in the movie, they have those sections, though. Any transition that they had, they basically went with the comic book split. They showed like comic panels, and it makes sense for the game to have this cell shaded comic book feel as well. Cell shaded graphics will always be something special. They don't age the same way as photorealistic games or anything like that because they are simple and they're stylized. That's why a lot of games that are more style over realism, they still look good nowadays. Even taking a look back at the original Borderlands, for example, or even games like Jet Set Radio, those games are stylized and they still look good to this day. Going back to the Hulk, it's kind of like the same story. For what it did for its time, it still looks really good. They got the looks of the characters pretty well. Obviously, a lot of the detail went into the Hulk. He and the bosses look probably the best in the whole game, like graphic fidelity wise. But overall, it doesn't look bad. Visually, though, I need to mention something. It might just be my emulator doing that, but sometimes there's this one mission where you play as Bruce Banner and you need to climb some boxes. I just glitches and goes in the ground often enough, and I don't know why. You kind of like fuck with it a bit to make it work. I've seen some people on Reddit talking about it and how do you climb over stuff, and it could just be that, but I'm not quite sure. It could be just my emulator. I don't know. The game itself goes into two types of gameplay. It goes into the Bruce Banner stealth mission, Metal Gear Solid game, and Hulk. On the Banner missions, it's basically a whole lot of stealth, puzzle solving, sciencey, nerdy Banner, beta Banner. That's probably how he got bullied in high school. I'm going off tangent. Never mind. It's a stealth game. When you play as Banner, you can go behind people and just Metal Gear choke them from behind. It's cool if you get the timing right, but if you're wrong, you kind of like fuck the whole mission. And I don't know, it's kind of a avoidance if possible, but at the same time, if you have an enemy with a gun, you probably want to get it out of the way. You can beat the crap out of guards, but again, if he has a gun, I wouldn't recommend it. It's really annoying. I tried it once, and actually, no, I tried it multiple times, and it still didn't work. I talked about how you need to climb over stuff. You have these box pushing, pulling bits in the game where you need to like make yourself a scaffolding and go over stuff. Whenever you grab a box and you move it around, you can't really move it sideways. You can only move it forward or backwards, depending on where you grabbed it from. And sometimes that's really annoying because you need to ungrab, leave if you have like a stealth section, someone's coming where a spotlight is over you or something like that. Go back to the box, reposition yourself, push it again. It's a pain, but what do you do? It's a 2003 PS2 game. The one major thing that playing with Bruce Banner does is you will have these terminals for either doors or for like making antidotes and stuff. You have these like puzzle sections that you need to spin numbers and letters around to match a combination of a code. Prepare for Bruce to repeat the same line over and over again.
I've got to move the pairs of symbols until I get a matching series.
Oh, get used to that. You will hear it a lot.
pairs of symbols until I get a matching series. I've got to move the pairs of symbols until I get a matching series.
Now going to the Hulk missions, you go with a big green man. Most of the environmental parts are destructible. You can punch stuff, you can grab onto your items and beat the crap out of people with it. But one thing that really annoys me, especially you feel it with higher difficulty enemies with more health, Hulk is slow. And I'm not talking about like, oh my god, he's like so slow. No, he's not abominably slow. That's the problem. It's kind of like the whole, you either are too fast for an NPC or too slow in like one of those like RPGs or Assassin's Creeds or whatever. You need to walk beside someone. Imagine that, but it's in combat. You are slightly slower than your enemies, and oftentimes this is really annoying. You can feel that in bosses as well, but especially the first boss. But we're gonna talk about him later. But as I said, simple controls. Punch. You have this like heavy attack. You can charge it to do a clap, like a sonic wave. The box advertises 45 devastating attacks to dispose of your enemies. I don't know where they got that number from, but realistically, even if it's that, you're probably gonna use like 5 or 6 of those combinations. Now, when you kill enemies, wait. Dispose. They drop these balls. You get like green balls for health, red balls for like your rage bar, and blue balls that get you like extra lives. Because it's like an old game, have like 4 or 3 lives on a level, and you get retries instantly. But if you use all of them, you restart the whole mission. And yes, I called them balls on purpose for that joke. Thank you. You don't really need to fight all the enemies. Most of them you will basically have to go through the level until you don't have anywhere else to go, and then you beat the crap out of everyone. Because otherwise, enemies just respawn, and they just come at you, and they come, and they don't stop. Especially, you will end up in some levels where you fight Gamma soldiers, or you would fight maybe those stupid fucking dogs, and those are annoying robots later on, and they gang up on you. So if you just stay and fight, you won't really do much. Just go through the level, see where it stops. Sometimes you will have to break like a generator or something to stop a force field that like stops your main road, and then you go through that until you don't have anywhere else to go, and then you beat the crap out of everyone. This game will make you feel like in high school, because you're gonna get bullied a lot. 5 or 6 enemies at once, and you won't really do anything about it until maybe the rage bar saves you and you can do a Hulk smash and you just kill everything in sight, or at least damage them a lot. It will be very annoying, and I'm sorry for you if you want to play this, but So I did mention about the bosses, not in a particular order, even though I think I got them in order, is Half-Life. And no, not that Half-Life, it's another one. Madman, Lux, Ravage. Is he the main bad? He is not. No, he's not. He's like the second guy, because the first guy is the leader. I don't know what's the deal with that name, but I guess it's self-explanatory. I also forgot to mention there is one mission where you fight 2 bosses at once. I'm never playing this again. Half-Life is annoying. I think it's the most annoying in the game, but at the same time it's pretty easy to fight. The only thing that he has is that he's way faster than you, and not like a little bit like I mentioned before. He's actually like really fast, and you can't fight him close quarters, otherwise you will drain your health. You need to take debris around you and throw them at them, or hit them with them. If he can't grab you from close, it's pretty dangerous to fight him up close. Madman, he's basically a brown Hulk. Flux is interesting. I think he's one of the most systematic bosses from the game, and it's actually one of my favorites. I don't know, there's a system behind it where I enjoy it, and I see how the developers wanted you to do it. Even though I was stupid in my first playthrough, I didn't realize you can actually grab the boss and throw him in the generator and deal a lot of damage. I was just punching him. But now in the second playthrough that I did for this video, I noticed that you can do that, and it was way easier to do. So wherever you can, grab the bosses. But he throws grenades everywhere, and you need to like have this like, you need to destroy some generators, you need to throw them into something. Then he throws more grenades, and you kind of repeat that until he's down. Ravage is basically the second, basically Hulk boss, And he's like the main guy in the story. He tries to get your powers. He says that he's gonna cure you, but he actually wants your powers. And he starts this chain of reaction that starts his whole bullshit with like gamma soldiers and all the mutants around you that try to bully you like in high school. But anyway, he tries to be the Hulk and he is not, because you're the Hulk. And even though you're slightly slower than everyone, you're still going to finish the game because I know you're a big boy and you can finish this game. Fuck my life. And the leader, the guy that actually started this or not, was he green before the experiment or not? But he's the leader and he's just a nerd. He has a big brain. It's one of the hardest ones I've played, one of the hardest bosses. It's easy, technically. So most of the bosses have 2 phases, and this guy's second phase is really annoying because it doesn't change anything. They maybe change one thing, but the major thing that changes is he brings gamma soldiers in with guns, and they're gonna bully you. They're gonna shoot you with their pew pew guns, and you will just stay there and do nothing. It's really annoying, and I hated it. I tried to repeat this level. It's easier than it should be, but at the same time it's really harder than it should be. I don't know what's happening with this boss fight, but yeah. So I've taken notes like in the first video, and I said, fuck this game. But it's impressive for what they did in 2003 with this. It's on my notes, and I'll probably not play this game anytime soon anymore. Played it twice, and it's really annoying, but it's a fun game if you can stand it. Yeah, hope you guys liked it, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this. I know there's another Hulk game on PS2, but that one looks ugly as sin, and there's another one that actually looks pretty fun. And I have neither of them, so let me know which one's good. But anyway, see you in the next one.
Dip, dip, potato chip.